Are luxury unboxings on YouTube making us depressed? Welcome to you, my name's Dayle and this is Dayle's Addiction. Today's video is going to answer that question. Are luxury unboxings on YouTube making us depressed? This was a question that came about as a result of a DM I received from a subscriber who I hadn't seen much in the comments or engaging much on Instagram, and out of the blue that person sent me a lovely message saying that they're going through a bit of a tough time at the moment and that consuming luxury content isn't great for their mental health, and it was nothing personal, but if I had noticed their lack of visibility on my channel, that was why. And I thought that takes a lot of courage to reach out, not only to acknowledge that to yourself, but to share that with someone else, to say it's not about you as a person, it's about your content, and I'm doing something to preserve my mental health. And I thought that that was really commendable, and I wondered then if there were other people in the same boat. So I went about creating a poll on Instagram asking if luxury unboxings on YouTube make you feel excited, slightly depressed, or indifferent. And the results were really interesting. I then asked a bunch of follow-up questions to get some context around it, and I guess I've got some thoughts of my own in response to these results. So for the first question, there are about 170 responses. It actually surprised me how quickly people started to engage with the poll on Instagram, and I actually shut it off early after only about 12-15 hours, because I thought there's going to be too much data for me to go through if this thing gets any bigger. Now, whilst most people said that they were excited to watch luxury unboxings on YouTube, there was still quite a fair chunk of people who said it made them feel slightly depressed or indifferent. In fact, about 20% of respondents said it made them feel slightly depressed. Now, if I put that into the perspective of my YouTube channel, let's just say I've got 7,000 subscribers, I've got a little bit more, but who's counting? 20% of those people, that's 1,400 people that feel slightly depressed when they see a luxury unboxing on YouTube. And that's not a small amount of people. And for a small channel, that makes me curious and makes me want to understand what's happening with the people that are watching my videos and what's impacting on how they respond or react to those videos. I asked people what makes them feel that way. For those people who said they were excited, a lot of people basically said that they felt the excitement was contagious and that seeing somebody else happy made them feel happy too. Some people just like watching the particular creator first and foremost, and their reaction to their unboxing, and then the unboxing itself. Not necessarily the unboxing being the primary motivator for clicking on the video. There were people who just love seeing new items and the whole process of opening the box and not really knowing what's in there. People that aren't close to luxury boutiques, being able to see items revealed on video and have a good look at them and be able to use that information for their own research purposes if they were considering purchasing one of these things. Many people said that their excitement level depended on what else was happening in their life. And if they had stress at work or home, they were less likely to be excited by a luxury unboxing on YouTube than what they would be if they didn't have those stresses. The people that felt indifferent, as in didn't feel excited, didn't feel depressed, maybe just clicked on the video for entertainment purposes, said that they felt indifferent because they don't really enjoy the whole unboxing process. They prefer to hear more about the collections or a review if it is a piece that they're particularly interested in, pros and cons, those sorts of things, rather than the unboxing itself. Many people commented on the fact that a lot of unboxings are just the same old, that every YouTuber is unboxing the same thing, the latest release, and that it's not entertaining or interesting. A couple of people had shared from their own experience that after taking a couple of really long holidays this year, they found that they have brought them way more pleasure than handbags, and so they're less likely to click on an unboxing because it doesn't provide them with the same excitement or pleasure as travel does. Depending on the creator, a lot of people in the comments talk to the fact that the unboxing for the purposes of a video was one thing, but then never seeing the bag again in reviews or collections or being worn by the YouTuber also made them feel indifferent about clicking on a luxury unboxing video. It's really interesting to me as a creator because I am somebody, yes, I would probably unbox consistently throughout the year. I don't usually have big periods without an unboxing. But when I look at my analytics compared to analytics of other people, based on pure numbers alone, unboxings do reveal the greatest amount of views. So it's quite, interesting to me that I hear that a lot of people are indifferent to unboxings yet still watch them. And so the analytics, I suppose, are quite skewed, and we're going to get into why that might be a little bit later. The people who responded that said they felt slightly depressed by watching luxury unboxings on YouTube shared some very intimate details about their life and their thoughts, and I thank them for that courage. And I think before anybody puts anything in the comments about, well, why would you watch this kind of content if it makes you feel this way, think about it from this perspective. Perhaps this is not your normal. Perhaps there have been changes in your life that have impacted on how you see the world quite recently. And the kind of shopping behaviors and the content you were consuming prior to those things happening was different. And it takes a little while for your brain to adjust. It's just like anything else. You kind of try and keep going on with life as normal. And then you realize, well, hold on, my life isn't as normal. There's these other things happening. And perhaps consuming this kind of content or being with these kind of people or eating this kind of food isn't helpful for me at the moment. And that can take a little bit of time. So please be compassionate when you listen to some of these reasons. This one really touched me. My life hasn't turned out as I expected, and seeing people acquire these bags is a constant reminder of that. So that's pretty tough. And I guess if watching luxury YouTube content was something that you did prior to this happening, how do you fill that gap? What do you start watching instead? How do you go about finding a new passion or interest that doesn't, I guess, impact on you in that way where it makes you feel like that? I'm just reading my comments over to the side here. It's just too much. The current state in the economy makes me think, how can they? This is a really interesting one. And I think I tried to address it in a Get Ready With Me that I ended up wiping because the file was corrupted. But the state of the economy at the moment, it's a global situation. Obviously, there's the conflict in Ukraine. There is inflation. There is the value of the US dollar, the value of the pound and the euro, energy prices. There's a lot happening, and looming recession keeps weighing down on us. And we're in this little bubble of a luxury community. And I guess there's a couple of things that, from my perspective, that I wanted to add to this part of the conversation, which is not everybody will be affected by the changes in the economy to the extent that others are. And whether that's because of where they live in the world, what their job is, what their family situation is, whether or not they're retired or employed, whether you drive a lot or whether you don't. This topic actually made me ask a question a little later on, which is, has the economy actually impacted on your shopping habits? And we're going to get to that question soon. Some people have said that huge unboxings that make them feel like people can just throw money in a fire pit when they are struggling really don't make them feel good. Unboxings every week are just not my reality or relatable. Some people have said sometimes it does feel overwhelming what others can afford or get offered, and it's human nature to feel depressed. I think massive unboxings are grotesque whilst genocide is happening in the Ukraine. Sometimes depressed because I really want it but I can't afford it, maximum 1 to 2 bags per year, and because I could never afford the amount of bags that some people buy. So it's it's one of those things where you say, okay, you've got a passion for luxury, you like to research and you like to buy 1 to 2 things per year if your household income can allow that. And if you find things that you love, but seeing week after week, constant unboxings and, no real challenge, I suppose, about how people went about being able to afford such things, that can be difficult to understand. Yet we still consume the content. And I'm wondering, why is that? Like the person who contacted me at the beginning said, I'm not consuming any content. There are still people consuming content. So what's that about? So that led to my next question, which is, so what's contributed to you feeling this way? And this was kind of a personal question, and I was impressed by the number of people that lent into that question and trusted me to keep their information confidential and gave some more insight. For those that felt excited, there was a level of voyeurism. I'm riding shotgun with you on this luxury journey, and you've been looking for this piece and now you've got it and you're going to unbox it, and I'm right there with you and I'm going to enjoy that in excitement and that process with you. There are a few people that found it aspirational. And that they watch from the perspective of, one day I'd really like to be in that position, or goodness, I really love that bag. I love seeing it being unboxed. I love seeing how people react when they're able to get that particular item. There's a curiosity about what people are buying or what's led to somebody parting with their hard-earned dollars to be able to purchase that particular thing. A lot of people talked about the connection with the creator, and that the YouTube creator was kind of the reason that they watched the videos, and then the curiosity or the voyeurism around what they've purchased and how excited they are at unboxing it was kind of secondary to that. People spoke about the contagiousness, of happiness and excitement, and seeing other people happy and excited also made them feel happy and excited. So you can see there's kind of two reactions, primary reactions that happen. You either jump on board the happy and excited camp, or it makes you reflect on your own situation, and if you're not able to do that, it's very difficult to be happy and excited, because potentially it brings to the surface some other feelings that are less helpful to your mental health and state of mind. A lot of people spoke about the fact that they're not close to stores, so being able to see an unboxing gives them some insights into new things that they haven't been able to see before, contributes to their research in a particular item or a fashion house. And then finally, for a lot of people, it's a distraction. It's escapism. It's something they do at the end of the day. It's their secret single behavior, as Sex and the City might say, where they just watch people open bags. And a lot of us watch rubbish TV that offers no real contribution to our life other than escapism. And potentially luxury YouTube is that for some people as well. For those who felt a bit less than excited, some of the reasons were around the economy particularly. Others were about watching content that didn't encourage them to get involved in the hype, so that they were purchasing things that they liked instead of things that were hyped. Job security came up. This one was pretty interesting, my position in life, so where I find myself and what my priorities are. Smugness of the person and frivolity of the purchases was another one that came up. And yeah, I have to say that I guess that not all luxury YouTube is the same, right? There are some people who have a luxury YouTube channel as a job. Their job is to go and purchase or be gifted luxury items that they then reveal to you on their channel. And I guess that could be kind of ho-hum after a while. The excitement wears off. There is no excitement. Then there's the kind of unrelatable content, which is, massive hauls on a very regular basis, which can be voyeuristic and really exciting and just like, wow, is this Bling Empire or something? But can also have people going, how do they do this? Like, how can someone afford this or store this or, really be that excited about it?
And with this unfortunate picture of me, I want to say that everybody works hard. Even the people that don't make a lot of money work hard.
And then there are your more relatable day-to-day people who buy every so often, research madly, save crazily, and then go and buy. And what I'm learning is that that's the most kind of relatable subscriber in the luxury YouTube community. Most of the community is not made up of people who buy a lot of luxury. It's people who potentially aspire to buy a lot of luxury, but really, are taking their time and making responsible decisions. For me, I watch people like myself, I suppose, who would buy consistently. I watch all sorts of content, to be honest. I don't like unboxings for unboxing's sake. I don't watch a lot of contemporary unboxings unless I really connect with the YouTube creator. I watch a lot of content, and so for me, once upon a time I used to religiously watch every single video put out by every single creator that I subscribe to, and I literally just cannot do that anymore. So now if the videos are, bags that I'm not interested in or brands that I'm not interested in, I don't watch them. If they are lists of how to save money for luxury and things like that, I don't watch them. I actually find those videos kind of problematic, because if in this current economic environment you're already feeling plagued by the uncertainty and worried about your financial situation, and people are putting out content to say, yeah, but you can still save money for luxury, I think that's really dangerous. I think that's not a priority at the moment. So to say don't buy coffee so that you can still have luxury even though things are tight, I really don't think that that's important content. So my viewing has changed too. My viewing's changed quite a lot, actually. I used to watch a lot of big YouTubers and a lot of this is what's coming next in fashion. I don't watch them anymore. I find that just has you on that little, it has me on the little rat wheel like way too often. Like you can never step off and just breathe and enjoy what you have. So I tend not to watch that content anymore either. One person said it makes them feel depressed too much. It feels like flaunting when most of us need to save. And another comment that I suppose I feel excited because I can afford to purchase these things, but if I couldn't, I think it would make me feel depressed. So in light of that then, I wanted to test whether or not, despite what's happening in the world, is it affecting people's shopping habits? And the question was, does what's happening in the economy at the moment impact you purchasing luxury? And the poll responses were, yes, I'm not shopping, 22% said. No, I'm still shopping, 23% said. It has slowed me down, but I still shop, 52%. And what looming recession, 3%. So really, 3 of those responses were all geared at I still shop. Only 22% of people said that what's actually happening has affected them and to the extent that they are no longer buying luxury. which I think is really interesting. So is it ignorance? Is it altruism? Is it the good old Aussie saying, she'll be right, mate? What is it that makes us continue to shop, even though we've acknowledged that things are pretty uncertain at the moment? I guess that question is different for everyone. And I asked people what they had bought, and there's a lot of really impressive things in here from a luxury perspective. They're not small things. We're talking about Cartier jewelry, we're talking about Chanel handbags, we're talking about Jimmy Choo shoes, we're talking about Fendi pieces, we're talking about Hermes luxury holidays, etc, etc. But I guess the closing message from this video is take care of yourself, watch content that feeds you, that makes you feel good and healthy about where you are and what you need to get done in the day. And if that's not here on my channel, I hope that one day it might be again. But if you need to go through your feed like I will be now and looking at whether or not I really need to subscribe or consume content that doesn't make me feel great about myself, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you do the same. So thank you to everyone who contributed in the poll. To those who aren't feeling so great, I hope that by cleaning out your feed and focusing on what's important to you at the moment does help you feel better. For those of you who do love that voyeuristic escapism that a luxury unboxing on YouTube brings, that's great. Just check in on it and make sure that it's still serving you well. If you've liked this video, as I always say, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd love to see you back here. I do a diverse array of content on this channel. So I'd really, if that interests you, come back. If not, it's up to you, isn't it? So until next time, ciao.